So all the drivers and the teams from F1 have headed off to Shanghai already, but I'm not going there this weekend. So I found the best Chinese restaurant in London, in Chinatown, and I've invited Ben Constanduros, who's been making some awesome videos for us with Rallycross. Ben, how are you? Would you like some Chinese tea?
Yes, let's get involved in the Chinese feel for this weekend.
Absolutely, I'm all about the traditional fare.
So Rallycross is brilliant.
Yeah, you've been making some nice videos.
Amazing event, and make sure you check out all the videos online because it really is a great thing to get involved. It's sort of new this year, so it's definitely something to get involved with.
Absolutely, and you've got your 10 reasons why you should watch Rallycross.
Yes, exactly.
I'm right there with you. So first things first, let's have a chat through about Malaysia because things got pretty heated out there. I was quite hot, to be honest, but things got pretty heated with the Red Bull boys.
Yeah, I mean, it's very difficult, isn't it, to tell a racing driver not to race. Yeah. I think that's the simple, fundamental thing. Sebastian is a double world champion.
Triple now.
Triple world champion.
Triple. Got to put you up on those kind of things, man.
And he wants to, get the technicalities right. And he wants to race. You can't tell a racing driver not to race, and I think that's very, very tricky.
But unfair on Webber, obviously. He thought he'd had it in the bag. Red Bull kind of wanted them to come home in that order, in the 2-1. But sad for him. But it wasn't just Red Bull, was it? It was Mercedes too.
Races go a set amount of laps, and they should be racing throughout the amount of laps. Mercedes and Nico Rosberg is an incredibly nice guy, and he respected Lewis very much.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic.
See, I've pulled out all the stops for you, Ben. You got best spring onion. We're gonna have some duck.
He really respects Lewis. They're good friends from kids, and that's probably why Nico did what he did. Yeah. Seb doesn't respect Mark, and that's why that happened.
It was tough, wasn't it? Both of them were just saying that they're faster than the other driver. It was interesting that Christian Horner came on the radio saying, don't be silly, Seb, whereas Ross Brawn got on the radio and it was a little bit more serious. I want to bring these 2 cars home, and this is my orders, and you will follow them, rather than the other way around with Christian perhaps being a little bit more kind of playful with his boys.
It's a different way of management, isn't it?
Exactly.
And Ross was very forthright and clear of what he wanted. Christian was a bit more vague, and maybe that's why Seb felt the need to disobey.
Yeah, it will be interesting as well, further along the season, maybe in the last few races, if Sebastian wins by less than 8 points, then he will have made the right decision to race.
But also, the best thing about Mark Webber is when he's angry. He's a super fast driver when he's grumpy.
Well,
so that should be interesting to see coming up for the next few
He's
races.
got those cheekbones. When he's pulling a pout, unstoppable Mark Webber. So looking ahead to this weekend, we mentioned the Mercedes boys. Last year, Shanghai, Nico Rosberg got that first place. Do you think they can do it again this weekend?
Honestly, it's still up in the air, isn't it? It's 3rd race this season. Yeah. It's very difficult to predict. The teams are finding it difficult to predict, and I really think it's any one of the top 5 teams really to go for.
Yeah, and who knows, maybe Lewis instead of Nico, still with that team dynamic going on. So I don't know if you saw, but we're in a restaurant now, but earlier this week I was in my new studio, the Race Room.
Very nice.
I'm going to have to invite you over, maybe when I get back from my travels. But I was doing a bit of an update from MotoGP. MotoGP pulling out all the stops as well. What an action-packed weekend.
Unbelievable that it was such a quiet year last year, and the racing for this first race in Qatar under the lights, which always looks spectacular, was really spectacular. Valentino Rossi
the doctor is back in his surgery.
And
my favourite, Marc Marquez, I mentioned it in my wrap up, his cheeky little smile, met him back in sort of February time, January time. What an amazing performance, first outing.
A cheeky little smile doesn't make you a good racing driver.
Well, no, that's true, but I am a girl, I fall for these things.
But it was a great performance.
Yeah.
Great to see a new star born.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to keep an eye out on him, especially at Circuit of the Americas. Pretty fast around that track he is. But would you like a little bit of duck pancake?
Let's get stuck in.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. There we go. Perfect. Right. So while we tuck in, don't forget to subscribe to Pole Position. We are going to be bringing you all the latest from the Chinese Grand Prix. I'll be out in Portugal with World Rally. And of course, just for all your motorsport news, just subscribe to the channel.